Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
It's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
And we are live here in Farmingdale, New York on the campus of Farmingdale State as we get set for the second game of our doubleheader here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. They're rowdy, they're wild, and they're gearing up after St. Anthony's beat Chaminade in lacrosse. Now it's time for the baseball team to take the diamond. It's the number 1 seeded Friars of St. Anthony's colliding with number 5 seed St. Dominic, the Bayhawks. And we welcome you into the broadcast booth. Lance Meadow with you here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. So glad you could spend part of your evening with us. Game 1, it was all about Kellenberg. In the 2-3 matchup, they cruised past Holy Trinity 11-1. So they advance to the winner's circle and now await the winner of St. Anthony's as well as St. Dominic. St. Anthony's is a star-studded team, a lot of firepower. They certainly know how to put the ball in play and plate plenty of runs. And before we help set the stage for this game, let's send it over to our public address announcer, Rob Anderson.
Yesterday, St. Dominic's defeated St. John the Baptist to earn their spot here today. They will face off against the number 1 seed, St. Anthony Friars. The winner will advance and return here to Farmingdale on May 18th. At this time, let's meet the starters for St. Dom's. Batting first, playing left field, number 1, Luis Gunaris. Batting second, pitcher, number 18, Tyler Camastro. Batting third, playing right field, number 11, Dylan Weinstein. Batting fourth, first baseman, number 21, Connor Ackerman. Batting fifth, playing second, number 12, Ray Kim. Batting sixth, at shortstop, number 5, Dominic Muccia. Batting seventh, playing third base, number 15, Christian Moreno. Batting eighth, playing designated hitter, number 31, Zach Cook. Zach will be batting for center fielder, number 4, Cristo Vangelato. And batting ninth, at catcher, number 55, Michael Scarry. On the mound for the Bayhawks, right-hander, number 18, Tyler Camastro. St. Dominic's is coached by assistant Steve Lee, Zach Padano, and Dylan Iacovone. They're led by head coach Joseph Fusco. And now, here are the starters for St. Anthony. Batting first in center field, number 24, C.J. Alfano. Batting second, playing second base, number 18, Anthony Sanchez. Batting third, Shortstop, number 14, Jacob Vaccarella. Batting fourth, at DH, number 32, Sebastian Castiello. Sebastian will be batting for pitcher, number 21, Luke Coates. Batting fifth, at first base, number 1, Michael Iamateo. Batting sixth, third baseman, number 7, Michael Carr. Batting seventh, in right field, number 0, Dean Roche. Batting eighth, at catcher, number 3, Nicholas Morelli. And batting ninth, in left field, number 8, Alexander Pagano. Again, on the mound for the Friars, number 21, Luke Coates. St. Anthony's coached by assistants Brian Dorsey, Tyler Pertain, Frank Tramarco, and Greg Nicari. They're led by their head coach, Paul Parcelano. Folks, here are our officials for today. At first base, Rich Maggio. At third, Artie Johnson, and our home plate umpire, Brian Higgins. And now
Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
It's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
And we're back here in Farmingdale, New York, as we get set for the first pitch between St. Anthony's and St. Dominic, the number 1-5 matchup. Let's take a look at the batting order for the Bayhawks, the lower-seeded team, as they will be leaning on Dylan Weinstein. You see him hitting third, their right fielder, 377 on the season, so he is certainly somebody to watch out for in that third spot. Connor Ackerman cleaning up. He'll be manning first base. Then you look a little bit later on in the lineup, Christian Moreno, the third baseman, followed by their DH Zach Cook and Mike Scarry, the backstop, rounding out the starting lineup. And they are going to have to solve the Luke Coates riddle. One of the best pitchers in the Catholic League, 4-0 with a 2.23 ERA. He has logged over 30 innings this season and a strikeout to walk ratio of 2-1 with 24 Ks to 12 walks and a whip of 1.62. Talking with head coach Paul Parcelano this week, one thing he mentioned about Coates is his breaking ball, specifically his curve and his slider, are the two pitches that define what he brings to the table. And he can get up there to about 94 with his fastball, but his normal range is 89 to 92. And as you can see on the mound, Coates brings a big frame to the table. He is 6'2", 215. And he is going to be heading to West Virginia, along with one of the best players in the Catholic League who is going to look to provide Coates with offensive support, CJ Alfano. And we'll be talking a lot about the senior outfielder throughout the course of this broadcast. But right now, it is all eyes on Luke Coates, the senior right-hander, who will first have to go mano-a-mano with Lou Gunaris, the left fielder for the Bayhawks. Gunaris is hitting .345 this season with 10 hits, highlighted by a double and 2 home runs. He has driven in 11 this season. As the Bayhawks look to build off their win over St. John the Baptist yesterday, 4-2. And Coates misses for ball 1. Kellenberg, the number 2 seed, had the bye. They did not miss a beat, putting 11 runs on the board. His Holy Trinity did not play to run until the 6th inning. So can St. Dominic get to Coates early and give themselves some early momentum? That is going to be something to watch in this game. As that pitch misses again high and inside. So Coates falling behind in the count. 3 balls and no strikes. St. Anthony's. So here is a chance for him to help his own cause. The number 2 hitter in the lineup. .263 batting average. 10 hits with a double and 13 RBI. Camastro has a runner aboard. And the first pitch, foul tip, swung on, got a piece of it. But it'll go down as a strike with Dylan Weinstein on deck, the right fielder, batting 3rd in the lineup. As Gunaris leads off from first, and Coates is starting to locate that strike zone, jumping ahead of the count here, 0-2, after he issued 4 straight balls to the leadoff batter. And that pitch misses low and outside. As Camastro trying to fight his way back into the count. St. Dominic went 9-9 in league play. That secured them the 5th seed, and they knocked off the number 4 seed as the breaking ball just misses inside. So Camastro fighting his way back into the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner on first here in the top of the 1st inning. And the 2-2 pitch is grounded, and it is going to be a foul ball. A nice job there by Aya Mateo to secure it, but clearly it was to the right of the bag. So Luke Coates back to work, still seeking his first out of the game. Runner goes, the 2-2 pitch, grounded foul. Gunaris does have 2 stolen bases on the season, so he's not a huge threat on the base paths, but has shown the willingness to take off, and he takes a comfortable lead from first yet again. As the Bayhawks trying to create on the base paths, and Coates is going to have a payoff pitch coming. As Camastro has shown tremendous discipline in the box here. This has been some at bat. He's fouled off multiple pitches, trying to bring Coates' pitch count up in the early stages of this one. Runner goes. The 3-2 offering is high and inside. So Ganaris did not have to work that hard. He will gladly take second base. Camastro on with a walk, and Luke Coates has issued 2 free bases to start this game.
Right fielder, number 11, Dylan Weinstein.
And that is now going to bring up Dylan Weinstein, the right fielder, third in the lineup. And we highlighted him as we went through the batting order. This is the guy you want up in this situation. 377 hitter. He also leads the team with 20 hits. He's second on the team with 3 doubles, a team high 8 jacks, and 21 RBI. That tops the charts as well. By far, their most dangerous bat in the lineup. As Weinstein ranks in the top 10 in the league in multiple categories, including average, OPS, slugging, RBI, home runs, and if I missed anything, it's a slight oversight as that one is lined into left field and will roll all the way to the wall. Ganaris will come in to score. Stopping at third is Camastro. Weinstein with a stand-up RBI double, and the 5th seed strikes first here in Game 2 of our double dip. St. Dominic with a 1-0 lead thanks to the red-hot bat of Dylan Weinstein, and we take another look. He ripped that all the way to the deepest dimensions of left field, not giving Pagano much of an opportunity to chase that one down. And Weinstein adding to his impressive tally with his 22nd run batted in. And now Connor Ackerman has a pair in scoring position. And the first pitch is foul tipped for strike 1. Ackerman is just right behind Weinstein on the season. .321 batting average with 9 hits, 6 RBI. As he is looking to add an extra layer of padding. And the 0-1 pitch, a swing and a miss for strike 2. So Luke Coates is trying to battle back. He has yet to record an out. Consecutive walks followed by a 2-bagger. And Ray Kim, the 5th hitter in the lineup, the second baseman, is on deck. The 0-2 pitch, another swing and a miss. Luke Coates gets his first K of the evening and a much-needed out for St. Anthony's as Ackerman went for it high and outside and could not make contact. So that will bring up Ray Kim, another one of their 300 hitters this season, 306 to be exact. 15 hits with 3 doubles and 5 home runs and a ground ball to short. It's backhanded, misfired on the throw to third. So another run is going to come in to score as Weinstein takes a headfirst dive across home plate following Camastro. And it is going to be a 3-0 lead now for St. Dominic as they have jumped down in front. And you're going to see the throw from Vaccarello off the mark to Michael Carr, and that enabled yet another run to come in to score. So the Bayhawks jumping ahead of the Friars here. And that pitch is fouled back. Just 1 hit for the Bayhawks, but they have done plenty of damage here in the top of the first as Coates and Morelli trying to get on the same page. We're getting into the heart of the order. Don Muccia, the shortstop, as he will pop this one up into foul territory. So the fielder's choice to short off the bat of Ray Kim led to a mishap. And 2 runs came into score, and now Muccia still has a runner in scoring position. And the 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed. So Muccia goes down swinging for out number 2 as Luke Coates again works the outside corner of the plate. Both of his outs have been strikeouts. And now Christian Moreno, the third baseman, hitting 7th in the lineup. We'll still have a runner in scoring position. Batting .326, 14 hits, a double, and 3 long balls. If you were to script the start of this game for the Bayhawks, they would gladly sign up for a 3-run lead against Luke Coates, as Coates now pounds it into the strike zone with Morelli framing it. Zach Cook is on deck if Moreno can get aboard. And the 0-1 pitch is grounded foul. St. Anthony's took 2 of 3 from St. Dominic in the regular season, but the one thing that Friars head coach Paul Parcelano mentioned is they were long games. He mentioned that it seems as if St. Dom's eats red meat before the game because these guys are fired up as the 0-2 pitch is fouled back into the netting. His team knows how to grind it out, and that is the one thing that he has been emphasizing to his team. Also taking into consideration the dimensions of this Farmingdale field, much bigger than they normally play at. And already an error that has opened the door for St. Dominic is that pitch in the dirt. Just 1 hit for the Bayhawks, but they have still plated 3 runs, and that's a product of 2 straight walks to open the game, drawn by Ganaris and Camastro. Moreno in the box here with a runner on second and 2 out. And again, Coates high on the offering. Coates came into today second in strikeouts in the league. He's now up to 48 on the season. The runner goes at the 2-2 pitch. Misses inside. So now another insurance run 90 feet away as Ray Kim took third. So a payoff pitch to Moreno with a runner on third here in the top of the first. And the 3-2 offering is fouled back into the netting. So Moreno having a lengthy at bat, very similar to what we saw out of Camastro, the second hitter in the lineup. And another payoff pitch, and he gets him looking. Christian Moreno strike opposed. Luke Coates with 3 Ks to do some damage control, but not before St. Dominic puts 3 runs on the board, highlighted by Dylan Weinstein's RBI double. We head to a break and moving towards the bottom of the first on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey, this is Doc Gooden, and you're watching Varsity Media.
Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
It's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony.
That not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
Back here in Farmingdale, New York, as we move to the bottom of the first. 3 runs on the board for St. Dominic in the top of the frame. Here's a look at the lineup for St. Anthony's, and this is by far one of the deepest lineups in the Catholic League. And of course, it starts with CJ Alfano, who is only hitting .500 this season. And Anthony Sanchez is going to follow at .413 and play second base. Then you get a little bit later on in the lineup, Aya Mateo in the 5th spot, followed by Carr, Roche, Morelli, and Pagano, rounding out the 9 hitters in the lineup, and so many well over 300. Tyler Camastro we saw in the box already. There is his numbers on the season. 4.52 ERA, 22 strikeouts, a pair of wins, and he is going to look to protect the lead that he helped build. And it starts with Alfano. 22 hits on the season. He leads the Catholic League in just about every statistical category imaginable this season. Just to put things in perspective, his on-base percentage is .703 this season. The numbers get more and more astounding as you go down the list. The only category that he actually does not lead is RBI. He's behind, though, his teammate, Vaccarello, who has driven in 31. And Camastro will have to deal with him third in the lineup. This is no picnic. And you can tell already as Alfano, just like Ganaris did, leads off the bottom of the first with a walk. And both of these teams are very much into this game early on, showing a lot of emotion with every at-bat and staring back at their own dugout. Anthony Sanchez, over 400 on the season. As that pitch misses inside. Sanchez, a dynamic athlete, also a member of the football team. Defensive back. As Camastro slides one in on the inside corner to even the count, 1-1. The reason I bring up his football background is he's still viewed as a raw baseball player, but they inserted him at second base about 2 weeks into the season, and they have had no reason to replace him since. That is how impressive Sanchez has been this year and has really made a jump on the defensive side, working on his range as well as his accuracy with throws. And Paul Parcelano, the head coach of the Friars, mentioned that they were emphasizing this week in practice, working on some of those fundamentals because of, again, the range that is in play here in Farmingdale with a bit of a larger field. So it'll be a payoff pitch coming to Sanchez. Who is also a player that has displayed his toughness. He's playing through a jammed thumb, and his swing not slowing down as a result of that. Now they're going to appeal, and they're going to say he went. So Sanchez thought he was going to take first base, and instead it's going to go down as a strikeout. So let's take another look, and you see the bat seem to go forward across the plate. And I know we were looking at it from the back view, but he had a hard time holding it up based on that replay. So Vaccarello, the shortstop for the Friars, who leads the team in RBI, but we'll have to await the first pitch to him, as right now Camastro's interested in Alfano. Vaccarello's a two-way player. They also utilize him as the third pitcher in the rotation. And they are very excited about what he brings to the table. .6'2", 165 in his senior year. A lot of power that he has displayed this season. And he will jump ahead of the count. Runner goes, and that is grounded foul. Alfano sliding in at second base, but he's going to have to hustle back. He's got 3 stolen bases on the season. It's amazing the 1-2 punch that Alfano and Vaccarello provide. They've combined for 19 home runs this season. 11 for Alfano, 8 for Vaccarello. Count is even now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Castiello is on deck, the cleanup hitter in the lineup. And Camastro just misses inside as he is looking to keep St. Anthony's off the board and preserve this 3-run cushion. He won on an appeal against Sanchez as he got him to strike out. Can he do the same here to Vaccarello? The payoff pitch, and he gets him looking. Back-to-back Ks for Camastro, who all of a sudden is quieting this St. Anthony's lineup. And there was no appeal needed here as Camastro paints the inside corner with Scary framing it to perfection. Castiello, the designated hitter, batting .327 on the season. $18 hits with 2 doubles, 3 home runs, 19 RBI. As he lifts one deep into the gap in left center field, and that is going to drop in for a hit and bounce all the way up against the wall. Alfano rounds third. He will easily score. It's an RBI double off the bat of Castiello. And St. Anthony's is on the board. They cut into the deficit. It's 3-1 here in the bottom of the first. So RBI number 20 for Sebastian Castiello, and he put it well out of the reach of Vangelatos in center, who had to play catch-up on that one that bounced onto the warning track. And that is how quickly a game can change, with now Michael Iamateo up. 5th hitter in the lineup. Batting .347 with 17 hits, 3 doubles, and 8 RBI. And that one will head foul. Michael Carr is on deck if Mateo can get on. This has been an intense first inning between both of these teams, who have combined for 4 runs and 2 hits. And Camastro, who has struck out a pair in this inning, is looking to keep his team ahead, but the tying run now is at the plate. And Mateo sends that one over the netting behind home plate. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and a ground ball hit towards second, backhanded, and thrown cleanly to first by Ray Kim. St. Anthony's does get a run on the board thanks to Castiello's RBI double to make it a 3-1 game with 1 inning in the books on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This is Jalen Brunson. You're watching Varsity Media.
Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
Well, I've been working with Varsity Media for, 14 years. When we have video needs, whether that be a game, whether that be a practice, whether it be social media, it's nice to know that somebody understands what we're looking for without asking for it.
We started working with Varsity Media back in 2021, and since then they've been an absolute game changer, putting our event on the map. Varsity Media couldn't be a better partner, and if you're looking to optimize your event, I couldn't recommend them anymore.
It's been great for us. You know, the kids really get excited when they know that Varsity Media is going to be here. Not just what's happening on the football field, but all the excitement that's around it. It really boosts the environment here, and everybody gets really excited for what's going on.
Varsity Media is reliable, professional, and their quality work is fantastic. It's like watching ESPN. The announcers are unreal, really do a great job of speaking to the coaches to get the knowledge of the players, the season, what's going on with the team. There is nothing better than Varsity Media doing a live broadcast.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
We move to the top of the second inning. St. Dom's leading St. Anthony's 3-1. And leading off for the Bayhawks is Zach Cook, their designated hitter. Coates had 3 strikeouts in the first inning, but he had to work for it as he walked 2 and gave up a double to Weinstein. And then an error by Vaccarello added to the issues. As Coates falling behind here in the count, the 3-0 pitch, and you knew Cook was in no hurry to swing at that one, wanted to see whether or not Coates could locate the strike zone. And a ground ball hit towards the left side of the infield, and that is going to be out number 1. As this time, the Friars backing up Coates without any issues to take care of Cook for out number 1. His car was all over that one at the hot corner. Here is Mike Scarry. Backstop for the Bayhawks. 261 hitter, 12 hits, a double, a home run, and 5 RBI. 1-0 pitch fouled back into the netting. Scary with a great name for sports, especially if he backs it up with his bat. And in the 9th spot here for St. Dominic, trying to create some offense for the top of the order. Coates is falling behind in the count several times in this contest. Well, he can rely on his velocity to get out of things. But the walks has been an issue this year. And when they rise, that's when he gets into trouble. He led the league in free bases this season, but he was second in strikeouts, and that's how you help offset that other category. And here he is, down in the count, 3 balls and 1 strike in a 3-1 game. And the 3-1 pitch misses outside, so Mike Scary is on with 1 out. Bringing up Ganaris, who also drew a walk to lead off the game.
Now batting, left fielder, number 1, Luis Ganaris.
So that is the 3rd walk issued by Coates. So he's got 3 Ks and he's got 3 walks. As Morelli went to the mound to talk things over with Coates. Ganaris, I mentioned, drew a walk to lead off the game and then came in to score on the Weinstein RBI double. Scary leading off from first. And this pitch is popped up into shallow right field. Backing up to make the catch is Sanchez, and that is out number 2. So that'll bring up Tyler Camastro, who also drew a walk and came in to score in the first. So, with the runner going, it's a line drive into left field for a base hit. Camastro comes through with a single, and heading to third is Vitale, who is a courtesy runner, and now he's going to come in to score. St. Anthony's fell asleep, and Vitale providing a spark off the bench on the base paths. So let's take another look. Here is the base hit from Camastro, and then you see Vitale sliding into third, and then just gingerly they threw to second, and now we're getting word that it was an official timeout, so Vitale is going to have to head back to the bag, and they will take the run off the board, and you see St. Dom's still making its case that the run should come in to score, as we're having a bit of a chat on the third baseline by the umpiring crew, and we see Paul Parcelano come out, the head coach of St. Anthony's. He's now talking things over with Coates and the rest of the infield. And the umpiring crew is still chatting. So Vitale came in to score, ruled an official timeout, and he will have to head back to the bag, but we'll see. how this conversation plays out. Right now it's 3-1. St. Dominic thought it made it 4-1. As we see St. Anthony's talking over strategy. As they have put a lot of pressure on Coates in this game. And the runner is going to have to return to the base paths. So Nick Vitale will not have a safe arrival at first. After that long conversation, they ruled that it was a timeout. So he heads to third, which is where he slid following the base hit by Camastro. And now Weinstein, who had an RBI double in his first at bat in the first, will look to drive in Vitale. And the first pitch, check swing, and he went around. Connor Ackerman is on deck. And the 1-0 pitch, a ground ball to short, fielded by Vaccarello, and the throw to first is perfectly placed in the glove of Aya Mateo to keep Vitale stranded at third. And it stays a 3-1 game in favor of St. Dominic as we move to the bottom of the second on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Merrill, he's got room to go. Merrill towards the end zone. Lost his lid. Touchdown!
JJ Damo, face on, stay on athlete. Controlling the faceoff X 3 in a row now.
And that is quite the sight as the backdrop here at Farmingdale State with the clouds and the sun combining forces as the lights are on here in Farmingdale, New York. And we move to the bottom of the second with St. Dominic in front of St. Anthony's 3-1. They've combined for 3 hits. Camastro had one of them in the last inning with a base hit, but they wound up leaving a runner stranded at third. And Michael Carr will start things up here in the bottom of the second, and he will watch one miss the strike zone for a ball. Roche and Morelli will follow. Carr batting .236 this season, with 13 hits, 5 doubles, 8 RBI. The 6th hitter in the lineup for the Friars. And Carr gets his bat underneath this one, but pops it up into shallow right field. And there to come in and make the catch is Weinstein for out number 1. So Dean Roche, the 7th hitter in the lineup. A 10th grader who is uber athletic, according to the coaching staff. And actually, the comparison that they threw out for Roche is he takes a strike is Major Leaguer Cody Bellinger in terms of the framework, the body, and his approach in the box. As now Roche is in an 0-2 hole. He's hitting .351 this season as that is lined foul. $20 hits, 5 doubles, a home run, and 17 RBI. And this, once again, is the perfect example of the depth of this Friars lineup. How many teams on really any level can say the 7th hitter in the lineup is batting .351? Well, that is the luxury that St. Anthony's has. And this is what Camastro has to deal with. Though he is ahead of the count, 0-2. And it's lofted into left center field. And that is going to drop in for a one-out single for Dean Roche, who adds to his impressive numbers this season and gives Nick Morelli, the 8th hitter in the lineup, somebody to work with.
Number 3, Nick Morelli.
Morelli is going to take his talents to Mount St. Mary's after his career ends with St. Anthony's. Just a miraculous story, which we'll probably get to later on in the broadcast, because he lifts this one into center field where Vangelatos is there to make the catch, and a short at bat for Morelli, who does have quite an adventurous backstory in becoming the starting catcher.
Left fielder, number 8, Alexander.
Their other 2 catchers were struggling this season, and they were looking for a spark, and in came Morelli, who had not played much at all in the past. He was on the freshman team and the JV team, but was playing behind a lot of other talent, and little by little, an opportunity presented itself. It is now Alex Pagano, the 9th hitter in the lineup, in the box with 1 on and 2 out. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and he sends this one deep to left field, and this ball is going to drop in and bounce up against the wall. Rounding third, heading home without a throw is Dean Roche. It's an RBI double for the 9th hitter in the lineup, Alex Pagano. And St. Anthony's is within 1, 3-2 here in the second, as they have put a run on the board in each of the first 2 frames. And Pagano put it over the head of Ganaris. And then Roche, you see, stepping on the pedal. And he did not even have to sacrifice his body as he stood up and crossed home plate. So we go to the top of the order. Alfano drew a walk in his first at bat. And he has a runner in scoring position. 22 hits on the season for him. And Alfano takes a strike on the inside corner. He is heading to West Virginia with Luke Coates. And there have been a lot of Major League scouts that have come down to watch him up close and personal. Could very well be a draft pick in June, as the 0-1 pitch is skied high into left field, and nearly a mishap occurred there before Ganaris came in to make the grab. An eventful third out to end the second inning, with St. Anthony's putting another run on the board. It's a 3-2 game with 2 in the books on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high high school sports. You've seen the dedication, the long hours, the early mornings, the sacrifice. You know your athlete has what it takes, but how do you make sure the right people see it? The recruiting process isn't easy. Coaches are flooded with highlights, but how do you stand out in the crowd? At Varsity Media, we specialize in creating game-changing ISO videos, high-definition, athlete-focused footage that highlights exactly what college recruiters want to see. With our up-close ISO video, we capture your athlete's key moments. No more wide angles showing other players. This is just your athlete's pure, raw talent. This is more than a video. This is the opportunity your athlete deserves. Give your athlete the edge they need. Make the right impression with Varsity Media's ISO video service. The future starts now.
We move to the top of the third inning here in Farmingdale, New York. St. Anthony's with one run in each of the first two frames. St. Dominic put up 3 in the top of the first. And Luke Coates back on the hill, as he has been able to work out of some jams thanks to the defensive support. Connor Ackerman leading off this inning. He went down swinging in the first. Kim and Muccia, will follow. Ackerman hitting .321 this season coming into this game. As he is looking to get into double digits in hits with his next connection. And the 0-2 pitch. Foul tipped to stay alive. So I mentioned earlier that St. Anthony's took 2 of 3 in the regular season from St. Dominic. But they were lengthy battles. So the Friars are used to this, and not necessarily surprised with how the early part of this game has played out. As the 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed. So Luke Coates with another K to start things off here in the third. And let's take another glance as he was working the inside corner of the plate. And that is his 4th of the game. So he has walked 3, and he has struck out 4. And now as Ray Kim enters the box, Coates' first pitch misses for a ball. He grounded into a fielder's choice to short, but it resulted in an error as Vaccarello's throw to third was off the mark. Fifth hitter in the lineup here for the Bayhawks. And Kim mistimes his swing there to fall behind in the count. This is what Coates relies on. It's that velocity to sit down batters, and he does it yet again. Back-to-back Ks for Luke Coates, who is starting to settle in. Number 5 in the game. And his latest victim is Ray Kim. And now Muccia, who went down swinging in the first, hungry for a redo. Muccia came into today hitting .300. As Coates is working the inside of the plate. Misses on his first 2 pitches. 18 hits for him with 2 doubles, a home run, and 9 RBI. And did that hit him? No, it did not, but it came awfully close. And now they're going to say take the base. So it did skim Muccia. He made his case, and he won. And it will not be a 1-2-3 inning for Coates after striking out the first 2 batters. And now he'll have to deal with Christian Moreno, who went down looking to end the first inning. Moreno, a .326 hitter coming into today. Runner goes, the throw to second is not handled cleanly by Vaccarello. As Morelli's throw was in line, but Vaccarello could not hold on to it. And now Muccia is in scoring position at second. That is his 7th stolen base of the season. As Moreno takes a strike. Muccia taking a lead from second. As Coates keeping close tabs on him, and the 1-1 pitch is lifted into center field. Getting underneath it is Alfano, and Coates works around, hitting Muccia with a pitch to end the top of the 3rd inning. As we head to the bottom of the frame, it's 3-2 St. Dominic over St. Anthony's on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
If you're looking to optimize your sporting event, look no further than Varsity Media's coverage. Since working with them over the course of the past 4 years through the Elite 5 New York City Football Showcase, their coverage has helped take us to the top.
Varsity Media does an unbelievable job in terms of the broadcast, backgrounds on kids, do a great job in exposure from top to bottom. I couldn't really say anything negative. It's been a great couple of years that we've been working together, and it's just fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you, the fact that you guys are here has helped grow it, really. I mean, Varsity Media has been a good partner with us now for the last couple of years. That brings this game to a much broader audience.
The level of detail and that you go to, I mean, obviously the announcers, the camera angles, the slow motions, I mean, you feel like it's being covered by, ESPN.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Back here in Farmingdale, New York, a 1-run game between St. Anthony's and St. Dominic as we move to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Leading off for the Friars is Anthony Sanchez. He went down swinging in the first. Vaccarello and Castiello also due up. With Camastro blowing that one right by Sanchez. Camastro is struck out 2 and has walked 1. That was Alfano. Sanchez fouls that off. Sanchez was all league and voted the defensive MVP for the football team, but here he cannot make contact on Camastro's offering. Camastro with his third K, and we've got one away here in the bottom of the third.
Now batting shortstop, number 14, Jacob.
And you see, blowing that right by Sanchez, who is a little itchy in his approach in this at-bat. Vaccarello, he went down swinging, following Sanchez in the first. Grounds that one foul. Vaccarello looking to join Alfano and Roche with 20-plus hits this season. Vaccarello's on 19, and he skies this one deep to left field. Coming in near the warning track to make the catch is Ganaris. And that is out number 2 here in the third. As Vaccarello, you could see the power that he has. That looked like a routine fly ball, but it went all the way to the warning track. And Ganaris was playing pretty deep. He actually came forward to make that catch, which just goes to show you the respect that Vaccarello gets. As Castiello takes a strike. He doubled in the first. That was hit number 19 for him, so he's knocking on the door of 20. Neither pitcher has had a clean inning, so this is the first opportunity for a 1-2-3 frame. And the 1-1 breaking ball missing inside. You think about what a 3-run cushion has done for Camastro in this game before he even took the mound. He had 3 runs to work with, and it has proven to be beneficial with St. Anthony's plating a run in each of the first 2 frames. They have 3 hits on the evening thus far. The 2-1 pitch fouled back. Friars have been very pleased with how consistently he makes hard contact, Sebastian. And all season long, he has been so consistent in his approach. That has stood out. The 2-2 pitch and a ground ball to short. Muccia is there, and it is a 1-2-3 inning for Tyler Camastro, who takes care of Sanchez, Vaccarello, and Castiello to keep it a 3-2 game in favor of his squad with 3 innings in the books on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey, this is Doc Gooden, and you're watching Varsity Media.
Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
It's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
Off to the top of the fourth we go here in Farmingdale, New York, with St. Anthony's trailing St. Dominic, the number 5 seed, 3-2, and a chance for the Bayhawks to pad their lead after scoring all 3 of their runs in the first. And the first pitch is popped up, and Morelli seemed to lose sight of it as Mateo came in charging from first, but they were unable to record the out against Zach Cook. So Cook survives, and we'll see his at-bat continue. And keep that in mind, because depending on how this frame plays out, that could be a door that slides wide open for St. Dominic. And that nails Cook on the head. And that is a scary situation as Coates even turned back to look away. And they are going to attend to Zach Cook. A very scary scene here in Farmingdale as Coates with the pitch that went right off of the helmet of Zach Cook. So Zach Cook is down right now, and the coaching staff and the training staff attending to him. So we are going to keep it here because a pleasant development as Cook literally just jumped right back up under his own power after he was down for a little bit, and he seems to be okay. So that is really good news for Zach Cook as well as St. Dominic, but looks as if he'll come out of the game, which is the expected move, and they will have to bring in somebody to pinch run for him at first base. Is Luke Coates. Also, you wonder what's going through his mind as he immediately turned back and felt terrible about what just transpired. So the mental game is something to keep in play here and take into consideration as Vangelatos will take over at first base. And that is going to bring up now Mike Scarry, the 9th hitter in the lineup. Scarry drew a walk in the second.
Catcher number 55, Michael Scarry.
So Cook was hit by a pitch on his helmet. Thankfully, jumped back up after a few moments down, and now is in the dugout with his teammates. Vangelatos was thinking about running there and then jumped back to first based on the result of the pitch, which is a ball. And this could be a potential turning point in this game because, once again, you wonder what's going through Coates' head right now. As they are thinking about throwing to first. Instead, they're going to have to go to second, and that throw is off the mark by Morelli and goes into center field. Fortunately, Alfano was there to back up Vaccarello, but Vangelatos is safely at second in scoring position for Scarry. So St. Anthony's in a precarious spot. And Luke Coates is going to have to work his way out of another jam. And Scary facing a 3-0 count. That's why I brought up about Coates' mindset here after hitting Cook on the helmet. Does he continue to think about that? And the 3-0 pitch is in for a strike. Evangelatos leading off from second. Coates keeps an eye on him. And the 3-1 pitch to Scary. A check swing, but another strike. So a payoff pitch coming to the 9th hitter in the lineup for the Bayhawks, as they are anxious to add a layer of padding to their lead. Coates again closely watching Evangelatos, the payoff pitch. Ground ball to short, and Vaccarello can't handle it, so everybody is safe. Runners on the corners for the Bayhawks, and that is the second mishap of the game for Vaccarello. Remember, he had the throwing error to third, and he just could not handle it with his glove. So as a result, Scary is safe at first, and Evangelatos is at third. And here comes the leadoff hitter, Lou Gunaris. He popped out to second in the second inning. He drew a walk in the first. And he has a chance to do plenty of damage with a pair of runners on. And the ball gets away, charging home and sliding in safely is Evangelatos, who took over for Cook, and the entire dugout is out to greet him, because it's a 4-2 lead now for St. Dominic as they take advantage of multiple mishaps by St. Anthony's, as Coates' pitch gets past Morelli, and that gave ample time for Evangelatos to come in to score. And now we're going to have a chat on the hill for St. Anthony's, as they need to settle down here. And I know we're maybe reading between the lines here with respect to the mental chess match and game that is playing out, but you think about Coates nails Cook, his immediate reaction, and how much that was weighing on him as the rest of this inning is moving along. It's natural to at least think about it and wonder, is that playing a role in terms of his level of concentration? Now, granted, Vaccarello had the error at short, so that had nothing to do with Coates, but the pitch that bounced past Morelli could certainly be tied into that. And showing bunt is Gunaris, who can't keep that in play. Scary is at second. Camastro is on deck. Nobody out here in the top of the fourth inning. Showing bunt again and then pulling back. Gunaris coming into today, a .345 hitter. And he has an attractive situation here with a runner in scoring position, as Coates looks back at Scary, and then that pitch is fouled out of the park. The winner of this game will advance to play number 2 seed Kellenberg that cruised past Holy Trinity 11-1 in game 1. This a much tighter affair, with both teams combining for 6 runs and 5 hits. Ganaris trying to get on base for the second time this evening. The 2-2 pitch and the breaking ball high and outside. That got away from Coates. He has walked 3, and he has hit 2 with a pitch. So that is 5 free offerings. The payoff pitch, and another foul ball. A lengthy at bat by Ganaris, who has been a spark plug for this team throughout the season in the leadoff spot. As Coates continues to stare back at second, the payoff pitch, and that misses outside. So the 4th walk of the game for Coates. And now runners on first and second for Tyler Camastro, who drew one of the 4 walks in the first inning, a base hit in the second. So that now will add a little bit more stress to Coates, and showing bunt is Camastro, and then he pulled back. Dylan Weinstein is on deck. The first 3 batters have gotten on base. Coates still looking for out number 1. And that bunt attempt falls short as Camastro rung up for a strike. Camastro came into today with a .263 average. He has increased that, and he is now looking to aid his own cause on the hill with 2 on. But just can't find the right pitch to try to lay down the bunt as he looks to advance both runners. Top of the order, looking to wreak havoc against Coates here for the Bayhawks. As Coates falls behind 3-1. And it doesn't get any easier with Weinstein up next, who doubled and drove in a run in the first. And the 3-1 pitch is chopped and will stay in fair territory. A difficult throw from third, but he gets it across the diamond, Michael Carr, for the out. An outstanding defensive play from the hot corner for out number 1. And take another look. Off the hop, Carr, off balance, fires a strike to Iamateo. It did, though, advance both runners. And Weinstein gets an intentional walk. So that is going to be the 5th overall for St. Dominic, as they do not want to have to deal with Weinstein coming in with a .377 average. So you can understand why the Friars are passing on him, and they choose to go up against Ackerman instead, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. So they load up the bases for Ackerman with 1 out. here in the top of the fourth. And St. Dominic, with a 4-2 lead, has a chance here to really add to the cushion. And the first pitch, a foul tip for strike one. Ray Kim is on deck. Scary's at first. Ganaris is at second. Weinstein is at first. As that pitch lined towards the bullpen for St. Anthony's. The free bases has been the Achilles heel of Coates throughout this season. He's going to have to wiggle out of another jam. The 0-2 pitch, and he gets him looking. Luke Coates relying on the heat yet again. Connor Ackerman down for the third time via a K, and it was the frame of Morelli that did the heavy lifting. Strikeout number 6 for Luke Coates as we take a look at the St. Anthony's faithful. Number of them well into the thick of things with their shirts off, but their helmets still on. That is quite the crew that has come out to watch the baseball team. Adding a little flavor and frenzy in the stands. So now it falls on Ray Kim with the bases loaded and 2 outs. And Kim lines one into left field for a base hit. Scary comes in to score. Rounding third and sliding in safely is Ganaris. It's a 2-run single off the bat of Ray Kim. And St. Dominic makes Luke Coates pay. It is 6-2 Bayhawks. As we'll take a look, Kim lined it over the head of Vaccarello and brought in a pair of runs with the bases juiced. No throw home. And the 5th seed in the Catholic League playoffs means business here, putting St. Anthony's up against the ropes. Weinstein is at second, and Kim is at first for Muccia, who was hit by a pitch in his last at-bat in the third. And he grounds one to second, and there to flip it to first is Sanchez to end the top of the 4th inning. But not before Ray Kim strikes gold with a 2-run single, taking advantage of the bases loaded. They put 3 on the board to make it 6-2 as we head to the bottom of the 4th on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
If you're looking to optimize your sporting event, look no further than Varsity Media's coverage. Since working with them over the course of the past 4 years through the Elite 5 New York City Football Showcase, their coverage has helped take us to the top.
Varsity Media does an unbelievable job in terms of the broadcast, backgrounds on kids, do a great job of exposure from top to bottom. I couldn't really say anything negative. It's been a great couple of years that we've been working together, and it's just fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you, the fact that you guys are here has helped grow it, really. I mean, Varsity Media's been a good partner with us now for the last couple of years. That brings this game to a much broader audience.
The level of detail and that you go to, I mean, obviously the announcers, the camera angles, the slow motions, I mean, you feel like it's being covered by, ESPN.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
So how about the Bayhawks of St. Dominic with a 6-2 lead over the number 1 seed St. Anthony's, as we see Ray Kim coming through with a 2-run single in the top of the 4th. The bases were loaded as a result of a few mishaps, capitalizing off of Luke Coates. And now the Friars have to make up for a 4-run deficit as we move to the bottom of the 4th with Michael Iamateo leading off. He grounded out to second in the 1st. Michael Carr and Dean Roche due up. Talking with the St. Anthony's coaching staff earlier this week, a big point of emphasis was limiting the free passes, the walks, and the hit by a pitch. And so far, that has been a troubling aspect. On offense, it was about hunting the fastball. They have had mixed results thus far, and needing to stay aggressive in the zone. But Camastro has kept this Friars lineup a bit off balance. And then the other point of emphasis was the avoidance of costly mistakes, errant throws, fielding errors. And we've seen already a little bit of that with the bigger field here at Farmingdale. So you go back to the points of emphasis, they have not gotten check marks in that department. As the 2-2 pitch misses inside, and we'll have a payoff coming here to Iamateo. And the 3-2 pitch is lifted into left field, and that is going to drop in for a base hit. So Iamateo with his first connection of the day, as that was out of the reach of Ganaris. And the leadoff batter aboard here for St. Anthony's is Iamateo coming in, hitting .347. Put that where no defender was in the vicinity for a safe arrival. Michael Carr popped out to right in the 2nd inning. Breaking ball gets away from Camastro. Carr is going to be heading to Fordham for academics. Captain of the team. Sends one into right field, and another one that will drop in for a base hit. So they aimed left with Iamateo. Carr targets right, and 2 runners on with nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th.
Right fielder, number 0.
The heart of the order starting to gain some rhythm, and Dean Roche, who had a base hit in the 2nd, will look to continue the chain of hits. Camastro low and outside for a ball. Roche with 21 hits on the season now. .1-0 pitch sent into center field. Evangelatos is there, and we have one away in the 4th.
Now batting, catcher number 3, Nicholas Morelli.
Nick Morelli, the 8th hitter in the lineup, catcher for St. Anthony's. Coming up, they have targeted all 3 parts of the outfield in this inning. They went to left, they went to right, and center in the last at bat. And it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter here for Morelli, who flied out to center in the 2nd inning. It is going to be Mark Peluso, the senior infielder. And they are singing happy birthday. So I guess we could connect the dots and figure that Mark is celebrating a birthday today. How appropriate. He gets up as a pinch hitter in a big spot with 2 runners on, and the birthday boy delivers a base hit to left. Everybody is going to hold up, and the bases are loaded with 1 out. So Paul Parcelano goes to his bench, and Mark Peluso comes up with a gem. 3 singles in the inning around the fly out to center. Alex Pagano, the left fielder and 9th hitter in the lineup, who doubled in the 2nd inning. Has a chance to put the comeback to a whole other level. Can Camastro work out of trouble? And that'll help with a perfectly placed breaking ball on the outside corner. Pagano, a .333 hitter. And the 9th guy in the lineup, which again just tells you all you need to know about the depth of this team and what Camastro has had to deal with from top to bottom. And apparently Camastro and Scary want to talk things over, make sure they're on the same page. With their team leading by 4 runs here in the bottom of the 4th. Pagano getting his 12th hit earlier in this contest. And he is going to take a strike on the outside corner. So Camastro ahead of the count here. And if he can get a K, that'll be huge for out number 2. And a tapper back to the mound. Camastro the snag and throws home for the force out. That is what you call helping your own cause, as Camastro took flight and knew the best and right decision was to go to his battery mate, Scary, who stepped on the plate for the force out. And what a snag with the glove hand to make sure that Aya Mateo was not going to get a safe arrival. And we're going to now have a mound visit here with Alfano due up, and you can understand why they want to talk things over. The best hitter in the lineup is now up with the bases loaded and 2 outs. And Tyler Camastro is looking to preserve a 4-run lead. Carr is at 3rd. Peluso is at 2nd. Pagano is at 1st. And St. Dominic does have pitchers up in the bullpen. So that is something to keep in mind, but ideally they want Camastro to get out of this inning all alone, and he delivers a strike right over the plate. As we take a look at some of the arms warming up, a pair of left-handers for the Bayhawks. The 0-1 pitch to Alfano, and he was swinging for the fences on that one. So Camastro ahead of the count, 0-2 against the player that leads the Catholic League in nearly every offensive category imaginable. He's walked and flied out to left thus far today. Came in with a 500 average. The Orioles, the Mets, the Yankees, and the Braves have all come down to watch C.J. Alfano in the box. And right now, he is looking to bring home teammates. The 0-2 pitch grounded to second, and Camastro gets it done. Ray Kim to the rescue. He leaves the bases loaded, and St. Anthony's comes up empty in the bottom of the fourth. Ray Kim securing the baseball and tossing it over to Ackerman for the third and final out to silence the most lethal hitter in the Catholic League. We got a great one with 4 innings in the books on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey, this is Doc Gooden, and you're watching Varsity Media.
Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
And it's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
Top of the 5th inning here in Farmingdale, New York, with St. Dominic, the number 5 seed, leading top seed St. Anthony 6-2. And leading off for the Bayhawks is Moreno. There's that pitch high and outside. Moreno flied out to center in the third. He went down looking in the first. And the 2-0 pitch for Coates gets away from him. So Coates has walked 5. One, of course, was an intentional walk to Weinstein last inning. And then he's hit 2 with pitches. So that is 7 free bases, free passes, however you want to spin it. And St. Anthony's said that is the key that you got to avoid. The 3-1 pitch is in for a strike, and we'll have a payoff coming to the leadoff batter, Moreno, to start things up here in the 5th. And the payoff pitch is fouled out towards the right of first base. This is a St. Dominic team that doubled up St. John the Baptist 4-2 yesterday, only to come back and now have a 4-run lead over the number 1 seed. Plenty of gas in the tank. And a slow roller back to the mound. Coates will fire to first for out number 1.
Now batting, number 4, Christos Vangelatos.
Chris Vangelatos replaced Zach Cook on the base paths after he was hit on his helmet in the 4th. So he is now up for the first time. And we have seen a number of pitches get away from Coates in this inning alone. And control has been something that he has battled at times. He's got tremendous velocity, the ability to strike out anybody, but it's when those free passes add up, it becomes troublesome, and that is a big part of the narrative of this game. Especially when you take into consideration, St. Dominic has just 3 hits in this game, yet they have plated 6 runs. Whereas St. Anthony's has double the amount of hits as the Bayhawks, yet has only scored 2 runs. So, of course, the walks and the hit by a pitch have been the difference makers. Vangelatos, 255 hitter with 13 hits and 2 doubles along with a home run, but he is not going to make contact here as he goes down via K. And that is going to be the 7th for Luke Coates today. And let's take another look at how he took care of the 8th hitter in the lineup. A swing and a miss. And those 7 Ks have been extremely valuable to offset the 7 free passes. 9th hitter in the lineup. Mike Scarry. He got on because of an error by Vaccarello in the 4th. Prior to that, he drew a walk in the 2nd. So here is righty against lefty. And he lines that one foul. And a swing and a miss by Scarry to put 2s across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here in the top of the 5th inning, with St. Dominic up by 4. And the 2-2 pitch is going to be in for a strike. A delayed call strike for Luke Coates. And it's a 1-2-3 frame with back-to-back Ks to end the inning. Number 8 on the night as Luke Coates hops off the hill with enthusiasm in a 6-2 game on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Help keep Varsity Media's broadcasts free on YouTube by considering an advertising sponsorship. Our coverage of local games helps local businesses get visibility in the community. To learn more about our sponsorship packages and rates, email Ben at varsitymedia.net.
latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media.
Back here in Farmingdale, New York, we head to the bottom of the fifth with St. Dominic ahead of top seed St. Anthony's 6-2, and a masterful job by Tyler Camastro on the mound, especially in the last inning where he got Alfano to ground out to second with the bases loaded to keep it a 4-run lead. And fans taking in the action from every single angle imaginable here at Farmingdale State, including on the hill right to the left of the scoreboard. For those of you trying to figure out the geography from home, and there we go. 3 spectators taking in the action behind that left field wall, where we see the Skyline Conference Championships, the years that Farmingdale State won, on full display. And Camastro will look to continue to quiet the St. Anthony's bats. They've put together 6 hits in this game, only 2 runs, did have a pair of errors. It is going to be Sanchez due up, followed by Vaccarello and Castiello. So we'll see the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Friars. Sanchez went down swinging in his last at-bat in the third. He also went down swinging in the first. So he's 0 for 2 with a pair of Ks. And the first pitch gets away from Camastro.
Oh, I said the wrong team, bro. My bad.
And the 0-1 pitch again misses. So Camastro falling behind in the count. And Camastro's breaking ball paints the outside corner. Vaccarello, who's on deck, is 0 for 2. Castiello had the double in the first. As this bouncer goes towards third, charging in and throwing to first, though not in time. Great effort there by Moreno, but safely at first base is going to be Sanchez. As you see Moreno off balance, and Camastro actually just laid down on the hill to make sure he didn't get in the way of the throw, but Sanchez stepping on the gas for the infield single. And the leadoff runner is on for St. Anthony's. And now Vaccarello, who is heading to Stony Brook, still seeking his first hit of the day. And the breaking ball is sent into center field. Vangelatos is there, and we have one away. And that'll now bring up the cleanup hitter, Castiello. He grounded out to short in his last at-bat in the third. As he fouls that one back. Paul Parcelano, the head coach of the Friars, loves the fact that he can put Vaccarello out there, followed by Castiello. He feels it's really uplifted the offense this season. And it gives them some power and dangerous threats, as this one is lined into left field for a base hit, and that is going to get away from Canaris, so it gives an opportunity for Sanchez to advance to third. Runners on the corners with one out here in the fifth inning. The mishaps have plagued the Friars. Now all of a sudden we're seeing the Bayhawks have some trouble in the field, and that could open the door for a comeback here for St. Anthony's. As we're going to have a pinch runner as Castiello will head back to the dugout. As Mateo now in the box. He had a base hit in the 4th inning, but was thrown out at home on a force out. And he takes a strike on the outside corner. Michael Carr is on deck. The 6th hitter in the lineup. Mateo grounded out to second. The runner goes, and that throw is off the mark. So now a pair are in scoring position with 1 out for the Friars here in the bottom of the 5th. Gives Camastro something to think about, and the breaking ball finds its spot on the inside corner for a strike. Camastro has struck out 3 in this game. And right now, he can use something in his arsenal to get that similar result. With Mateo in the box. And now Camastro wants to talk things over with Scary so that they are on the same page. Mateo was somebody that they turned to off the bench last season. But when they moved C.J. Alfano out of first base into center field, that opened the door for Mateo to take over as he fouls this one back. Probably one of the most pleasant surprises on the roster, if you ask the Friars coaching staff. Much better than expected this season. And CJ has taken Mike under his wings as they continue to work out at first base, even though Alfano is now a main center fielder. Alfano likes to be around Mateo, and he's even picked up a few things from Mike along the way. But right now, Mateo with a chance to deliver in the box with 2 on and 1 out. And this pitch is lofted into the gap in right center field. 1 run will come in to score. The throw is off the mark. Another will follow. It's a 2-run single from Mike Mateo. And little by little, St. Anthony's is clawing its way back. It is 6-4 here in the bottom of the 5th. And you're going to see he got enough under this one to drop it in front of Vangelatos. And Vangelatos' throw was wide of the plate to Scary, which gave a chance for a pair of runs to come in to score. And now Michael Carr in the box, and the breaking ball he takes for a strike. You ask St. Dominic, they know no lead is safe in the Catholic League. And that is why every opportunity you get to add insurance, you've got to capitalize. They've had 2 innings of 3 runs, the 1st and the 4th. But St. Anthony's with 9 hits to account for their 4 runs. Carr had a base hit in his last at bat in the 4th. There's Camastro desperately trying to get out of this jam and keep his team ahead by a pair of runs. Dean Roche is on deck. Carr is 1 for 2 today. He popped out to right in the 2nd. And Camastro throws that one into the dirt. Carr has been on varsity for 3 years. He was called up from JV in 2024 when they won the title, as that is a foul tip. So Mateo, who was quickly getting off of first base, winds up on second. And when he was called up from JV in 2024, since then, he has not lost his job. Carr took full advantage of his opportunity, and Paul Parcelano referring to him as the best third baseman in the league. Well, right now they need his bat. The payoff pitch. He lifts this one into right field. There to make the catch is Weinstein. So holding up at second is Mateo, and we've got 2 away here in the 5th. So Camastro got Vaccarello to fly out to center, Carr now to right. And Dean Roche, who flied out to center in his last at bat, will enter the box. With a runner on second and 2 out. He represents the tying run. And the first pitch is grounded to first base, where Ackerman will step on the bag to end the 5th inning. St. Anthony's, though, does put 2 on the board here in the frame to cut into the deficit, making it 6-4 as we move to the 6th. But first, take another look at the connection that drove in a pair of runs from Castiello and company, as they are showcasing a great deal of emotion as they look to attempt to mount a comeback here in Farmingdale. A 6-4 game on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This is Jalen Brunson. You're watching Varsity Media.
Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
Well, I've been working with Varsity Media for, 14 years. When we have video needs, whether that be a game, whether that be a practice, whether it be social media, it's nice to know that somebody understands what we're looking for without asking for it.
We started working with Varsity Media back in 2021, and since then they've been an absolute game changer, putting our event on the map. Varsity Media couldn't be a better partner, and if you're looking to optimize your event, I couldn't recommend them anymore.
It's been great for us. You know, the kids really get excited when they know that Varsity Media is going to be here. Not just what's happening on the football field, but all the excitement that's around it. It really boosted the environment here, and everybody gets really excited for what's going on.
Varsity Media is reliable, professional, and their quality work is fantastic. It's like watching ESPN. The announcers are unreal, really do a great job of speaking to the coaches to get the knowledge of the players, the season, what's going on with the team. There is nothing better than Varsity Media doing a live broadcast.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
TJ Walsh is the new pitcher for the Friars, as Luke Coates went 5 innings. St. Dominic putting 6 runs on the board with 3 hits. But it was the walks and the other free passes that proved to be troublesome for Luke Coates.
Now pitching for St. Anthony's, right-hander, number 5.
He did strike out 8, though. That helped to balance things out a bit. But you talk about the 5 walks, 1 intentional, 2 hit by a pitch, 7 in tally. As Walsh delivers a strike with his very first pitch. As we go to the top of the order, Ganaris, he drew a walk in the 4th in his last at-bat. Coates did finish off his outing on a strong note, where he struck out Vangelatos and Scary back-to-back, the 8th and the 9th hitters. That's why it is Ganaris, Camastro, and Weinstein due up here in the 6th inning. Three in the 1st, 3 in the 4th for St. Dominic, 1 each for the Friars in the 1st and the 2nd, and then they played it 2 in the 5th. Walsh has been one of the most reliable arms out of the bullpen for the Friars. He's got a breaking ball that is extremely dangerous. As there is some chatter coming from the St. Dominic outfield. And now we're going to have a conversation over at the first base bag. So we see members of the umpiring crew talking things over with the staff of St. Dominic. Not exactly sure what they're discussing, but Ganaris is going to resume his at-bat, facing a 1-1 count. Ganaris with 2 walks and a pop out to second in this game. As he is ahead of the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. And Walsh now having trouble locating the strike zone. And St. Dominic wants to earn some of those runs back that they gave up in the previous frame. And a ground ball up the middle. A backhanded stop there by Sanchez, but the throw to first is high, and they're going to have him caught in a rundown anyway. So Sanchez made a beautiful stop. The throw was high, though, to first. However, you're going to see that he made a heck of a grab, Aya Mateo, and not realizing it was Ganaris. So that's why he took off for second, and they were able to get him tagged out. So let's take a look at now this live at bat, as that is going to drop in for a base hit. Tyler Camastro with his second connection of the day. 2 singles to go along with a walk. He's been on base 3 times, but he's not going to have a runner to work with Ganaris thrown out at second. And that was some athletic play by Aya Mateo. That ball that was thrown by Sanchez easily could have been airmailed. And that could have given Ganaris a chance to go to second, but instead they caught him on a fast one. And Camastro is now going to head to second, given the fact that Walsh's pitch went past Morelli. So now a runner is in scoring position, and they don't want any part of Weinstein once again. So Weinstein given the intentional walk treatment for the second straight at bat. And now Connor Ackerman.
Now batting first baseman, 21, Connor Ackerman.
He's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. But he's got 2 runners on. Ray Kim is on deck, had the 2-run single in the 4th. That right now has proven to be a huge difference maker. As Walsh keeping a glance at second base. And the 0-1 pitch is high and outside for a ball. And the 1-1 pitch is lifted into left field. Pagano is there. He will make the catch, as that is out number 2 here in the 6th. So that'll keep the runners at first and second. And now Ray Kim. I mentioned the base hit in the 4th. Prior to that, went down swinging in the 3rd. Grounded into a fielder's choice to short that resulted in an error in his first opportunity in that first inning. And again, Walsh looking back at second. And that pitch is in for a strike. Sanchez continues to act as if he's going back to the bag. And that is why Walsh continues to look back at the base. Walsh trying to close the door on St. Dominic and keep his team within 2 runs. Last time Ray Kim had runners to work with, he drove in a pair. Can he do it again? The 5th hitter in the lineup with an 0-2 pitch that grounds foul. Two on with 2 out. And an 0-2 count here to Kim. And he is in no hurry to swing, making Walsh earn it. Kim came into today hitting .306. He now has 16 hits on the season. And 15 RBI. And the 1-2 pitch out of the zone, but he swings and misses, and TJ Walsh is skipping his way back to the dugout because he keeps 2 runners stranded and maintains a 2-run game. As we take a look, Walsh low and outside, but Kim was fooled, goes down swinging off to the bottom of the 6th on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Merrill, he's got room to go. Merrill towards the end zone. Lost his lid. Touchdown!
JJ Damo, face on, stay on athlete. Controlling the face-off X 3 in a row now.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
Bottom of the 6th inning here in Farmingdale, New York, and Tyler Camastro is still going strong as he has his team leading by 2 runs, 6-4. St. Anthony's knocking on the door of double-digit hits. Nick Morelli will lead off with Pagano and Alfano due up. Morelli had a base hit in his last at-bat in the 4th. Prior to that, flied out to center in the 2nd. As Morelli grounds one up the middle, and this is going to be a tough throw to first, and it is going to be an infield single for Morelli. Great effort there by the middle of the infield for St. Dominic. As you're going to see, shortstop and second baseman both going for it, and it was Ray Kim that got the backhand, but it took so much time to get to the ball that there was no way he was going to get it to Ackerman in time for the out. So Morelli with his 2nd straight single. And Pagano now, who grounded into a fielder's choice to the pitcher in his last at-bat, doubled in the 2nd. Pagano, like Sanchez, also a football player. Wide receiver, was the JV defensive MVP. And did not play last season because he broke his back. So this has been some comeback story for him. He wasn't a starter, but he worked his way into the lineup as the throw to second is not going to be in time. And Morelli now puts himself in scoring position. And that is Morelli's first stolen base. He has not been a threat this year. But there you see him stepping on the gas. And Pagano representing the game-tying run in the box. He is a grinder. Very well disciplined with his at-bats, especially when handling 2 strikes, and that is exactly the scenario that he is faced with here. One of the things that Paul Parcelano credits him with is surviving at-bats. Well, with a 1-2 count. He is going to have to accomplish that feat. There's Camastro searching for his first out of the inning. Camastro continuing to look back at second. The 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed. So a rare strikeout for Pagano. Out number 1 here in the bottom of the 6th. And that will keep the runner at second. As we take a look at Pagano, not able to make contact with Camastro's offering. And now we go to the top of the order with C.J. Alfano. Here's another glance at Pagano just swinging through. Camastro has won the battle thus far with Alfano, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. He flied out and grounded out. "22 hits, including 11 home runs. He has driven in nearly 30 this season. And Alfano representing the tying run here in the bottom of the 6th. As he skies this one into foul territory to the left of third base, and that is going to end up in foul territory. You had Christian Moreno was backpedaling and could not locate the baseball. And you can understand why. So Alfano stays alive. As West Virginia is going to get a package deal with him and Luke Coates. And this one grounded foul. One of the reasons why they moved Alfano from first base to center field was they wanted to get Ian Mateo into the lineup as a young player. So thanks to Alfano's versatility, he was able to man center field. You put Ian Mateo at first, and the rest is history. And the 1-2 pitch misses for ball 2. So we have seen St. Anthony's intentionally walk Dylan Weinstein, third hitter in the lineup, but no gifts issued to Alfano in the leadoff spot in the lineup. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and a swing and a miss. Tyler Camastro setting the tone for St. Dominic, the number 5 seed, another K. He got Pagano and now Alfano, who is 0 for 3 today. And no bigger strikeout than the one that we just witnessed. Anthony Sanchez had an infield single in his last at-bat. Prior to that, went down swinging twice. And the first pitch, mistimes his swing there. Camastro has risen to the occasion in big moments in this game, including jams. And here is yet another with the tying run at home plate. An even count with that pitch high and inside. And the 1-1 pitch is going to slide in there for a strike. Sanchez tried to sell it by backing up, but the home plate umpire was not having it. So Camastro is 1 strike away from ending the 6th inning. The Friars have collected 10 hits, but just 4 runs. As he looks back at second, the 1-2 pitch. And a slow roller to third that is going to go foul. Christian Moreno, with the patience of a saint, as the ball cooperated and rolled foul. He was waiting and waiting and waiting. And he got the fortuitous bounce. So yet another 1-2 pitch. With 1 on and 2 out, and that breaking ball misses inside. So again, 2s across the board. It's Tyler Camastro doing everything in his power to keep St. Anthony's lineup in check. And the 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Tyler Camastro striking out the side following an infield single. The man is on a mission, and he's hunting Friars in the box with a great deal of emotion as he heads back to the dugout. And we're off to the 7th inning in Farmingdale on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. You've seen the dedication, the long hours, the early mornings, the sacrifice. You know your athlete has what it takes, but how do you make sure the right people see it? The recruiting process isn't easy. Coaches are flooded with highlights. But how do you stand out in the crowd? At Varsity Media, we specialize in creating game-changing ISO videos, high-definition, athlete-focused footage that highlights exactly what college recruiters want to see. With our up-close ISO video, we capture your athlete's key moments. No more wide angles showing other players. This is just your athlete's pure, raw talent. This is more than a video. This is the opportunity your athlete deserves. Give your athlete the edge they need. Make the right impression with Varsity Media's ISO video service. The future starts now.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is 75,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
On to the 7th inning we go here in Farmingdale, New York. And the number 5 seed, St. Dominic, with a 2-run lead over top seed St. Anthony's. Dom Muccia, the shortstop, leading off. Grounded out to second in his last at-bat. Prior to that was hit by a pitch and went down swinging in the first. And Walsh's offering gets past Muccia. As Walsh is on the hill for the 2nd straight inning after replacing Luke Coates, who went 5. Muccia with a ground ball to second. Sanchez is there. 1 away. So that'll bring up Moreno. He grounded out to the pitcher in his last at-bat. He's 0 for 3. Flied out, went down looking. Walsh looking to keep this a 2-run game to give his offense a chance, as they'll have the 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up, as this ball is laced down the left field line, and there to make the grab is Pagano for out number 2. As that'll bring up Vangelatos.
Now batting, number 4, Christos Vangelatos.
He went down swinging in the 5th. That was the 7th of 8 strikeouts for Luke Coates. Vangelatos replaced Zach Cook, who was hit by a pitch on the helmet by Coates in a scary situation, but fortunately he did get up under his own power and headed into the dugout. And since then, Vangelatos has taken his at-bats. Mike Scarry is on deck if Vangelatos can come through. Breaking ball sails across the inside of the plate for a strike. And the fastball right past Vangelatos. So TJ Walsh with a 1-2-3 7th, and he gives his teammates a chance. The last opportunity for St. Anthony's in the bottom of the 7th, down 6-4 as TJ Walsh bringing the heat past Vangelatos on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
If you're looking to optimize your sporting event, look no further than Varsity Media's coverage. Since working with them over the course of the past 4 years through the Elite 5 New York City Football Showcase, their coverage has helped take us to the top.
Varsity Media does an unbelievable job in terms of the broadcast, backgrounds on kids, do a great job of exposure from top to bottom. I couldn't really say anything negative. It's been a great couple of years that we've been working together, and it's just fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you, the fact that you guys are here has helped grow it, really. I mean, Varsity Media has been a good partner with us now for the last couple of years. That brings this game to a much broader audience.
The level of detail and that you go to, I mean, obviously the announcers, the camera angles, the slow motions, I mean, you feel like it's being covered by, ESPN.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
And we are back here in Farmingdale, New York. Bottom of the 7th inning. Last opportunity for St. Anthony's, the number 1 seed, trailing by a pair of runs. It'll be the 3rd, 4th, and 5th hitters due up for the Friars. Vaccarello, Castiello, and Iamateo. Vaccarello flied out to center in his last at-bat. And how about Tyler Camastro, who is still on the hill for the Bayhawks, looking to finish what he started. As he gets Vaccarello to send one into left center field. Backing up and making the grab is Vangelatos. And that is one away here in the 7th.
Number 32, Sebastian Castiello.
Castiello had a base hit in his last at-bat in the 5th. Grounded out to short in the 3rd. Doubled in the 1st. The winner of this game will play Kellenberg that crushed Holy Trinity 11-1 in Game 1 of our double dip. Scary did a nice job securing that ball that bounced off the plate. Mateo is on deck. Base hit in each of his last 2 at-bats. Breaking ball right on that inside corner. That has been the signature pitch of Camastro. It looks as if it's going outside, and then all of a sudden has a late break across the plate. It has been so effective this evening. 1-1 pitch. This time misses for ball 2. The 2 teams that gave St. Anthony's the most trouble was St. Dominic and St. John the Baptist. So the Friars knew they were going to have to go up against one of the 2 teams that had gotten the better of them during the regular season. And right now, in a precarious spot yet again. But that is going to be a free base for Castiello. And we'll put a runner on with 1 out, bringing up the tying run in the form of Mateo, who has been swinging a very effective bat as of late. Had a base hit in the 5th, as well as the 4th, grounded out to second in the 1st. And this is the player that they moved Alfano in the field to accommodate so they could get him in the lineup. And the first pitch is taken for a strike. And a lot of pressure put on Mateo this season. When you replace one of the best 2-way players in the league, you know you have to deliver, as he sends one into center left field, and that is going to be caught by Dylan Weinstein for out number 2. As that one looked as if it was going to perhaps go over the head of Weinstein, and then he made a late recovery. So they are going to make a pitching change here, as that is going to do it for Camastro. And he is going to be greeted by everyone in the dugout as he goes 6 2/3. A tremendous effort from the right-hander. And it will be 1 more out that they are going to need to secure here in Farmingdale, New York. So we'll step aside. We'll set the stage for what could be the final out of the game in a 6-4 contest on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey, this is Doc Gooden, and you're watching Varsity Media.
Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
And it's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
Matt DeFranza taking over for Tyler Camastro with 1 on and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. DeFranza, 16 strikeouts this season, an ERA of 5.47. Opponents are hitting 300 off of him. He has a win and a save on the season. As he continues to warm up. And it is going to be Michael Carr, the third baseman for St. Anthony's. Hitting out of the 6th spot. With Castiello at first base. Camastro got 2 flyouts, Vaccarello and Iamateo. And now it's up to DeFranza. And that breaking ball is in for a strike. Dean Roche is on deck if Carr could get aboard. He flied out to right in his last at-bat in the 5th, a base hit in the 4th, popped out to right in the 2nd. Runner goes, the 0-1 pitch, a ground ball to 3rd. Moreno is there, the jump throw to 1st is in time, and the celebration is underway here in Farmingdale as Matt DeFranza comes on to record the final out, and the number 5 seed, St. Dominic, knocks off top seed St. Anthony's to advance in the winner's bracket to face number 2 seed Kellenberg on Monday. A heck of a performance by the Bayhawks, who hold off the Friars in a tight affair as St. Anthony's more than doubled the hit total of St. Dominic, but it was the 7 free passes by Luke Coates, the 5 walks, 1 intentional, and the 2 hit by a pitch that proved to be the difference maker. So St. Dominic beating St. John the Baptist 4-2 yesterday, and then a 6-4 victory here the following day to tackle the number 1 seed St. Anthony's. As that is going to wrap up our coverage here in Farmingdale, New York. Executive producer Ben Turchin, technical director Chris Sweeney, camera operator Tony DeMaso. I'm Lance Meadows saying so long from Farmingdale, New York. The final score is St. Dominic 6, St. Anthony's 4. This has been a presentation of the Varsity Media Sports Network.